area are you going for? Which area are you going for?
I shall take them up onto the edge of the actual Dundry slopes, the countryside, and continue the work that was started by the other group last Tuesday. And then we shall work slowly along the foot of the hill towards Withywood. I did a recce yesterday just to see what still remained to be done. And I'm going to tell my team to well and truly arm themselves with shears, clippers, loppers, secateurs, and protect their legs because there's loads of nettles, brambles, blackthorn, you name it. So at least it's in a shady area, so if it turns out to be really hot and sunny, they'll be under cover. And that really helped us last week because the rain came down in buckets, but they didn't stop, it just went on.
Another 6, 7 more. Yeah,
another 6 or 7.
So I get them.
Well, I could use a few more, but of course I may get more than 10.
I just wanted to ask what your team's doing.
Well, my team is clearing a path of brambles and undergrowth to make it accessible to local people. So it's a question of cutting, lopping, shears, loppers, secateurs. Protect your legs from nettles. Yes, send them to me.
I'll send them over.
Yeah.
Upstairs stuff, if there's any children stuff. You said there's any stuff involved with children.
Well, it'll be very full of nettles and brambles. I mean, it's quite safe, so long as the children are not sort of scratched by it.
But specifically, did you say something for children? There's something...
No, the Millennium Green is the place for the children. If they're small children, it's the work on the Millennium Green, which is Hartford Community Campus.
There's something there?
There's a children's play area there, and that would be much more suitable.
There's a project there, is there?
Oh yes, clearing out a pond. But there's a children's play area next door, so children could be happily and safely occupied.
About the pond though, what's going to happen in the pond?
Well, it's quite a small pond, and there'll be about 12 people there, so there'll be plenty of supervision.
Introduce yourselves to people that you don't yet know. Maybe go around and make sure that everyone knows who everyone else is, and then maybe you can again sort of hear from the team leader what you're going to be doing, and play for a couple of minutes in pairs about what you're going to be doing.
Because we may get a bit separated.
I want my sharp object back though. Well, it does look quite mean, that one. Yeah. That's right, come on then. What have you let yourself in for today, Dom?
Huh? Did I? Oh no.
What have you let yourself in for?
Oh no again. Oh dear. I'm on the telly more than
What?
I'm blinking.
No.
What should we say? I can't think of anything to say for once. I'm gobsmacked. Thank you for coming.
Chris, yeah. What about you? Oh, you need that.
For the charity, and he's got two schools in India and a couple in Africa named after him.
Right.
Quite amazing. They made him king in one place. Yeah, and they made my wife the Queen of Withywood. Yeah, she's the Queen of Withywood.
So
Yeah,
how did you
tell you, he filmed it.
How
Made
did
him,
you raise the money?
He was quite ill afterwards.
Really?
Yeah, really.
What did you do to raise the money?
Well, he does painting and sketching,
Yeah.
and he goes out. He's also an history teacher,
Right.
and he does the history of Bedminster, Bristol,
Yeah.
and all these things. And we have videos which he does, and other people, and then we show the videos, and we put on funny plays which we had last week called The Princess and the Woodcutter, and he's still recovering. And I was the prince, the woodcutter. But I've got promotion. I've now married the princess twice in a fortnight. I know
done.
you're Christians, you wouldn't agree with that. And anyway, there you are, see. So it's been quite funny. We do all sorts of things.
It sounds like a real community sense.
Oh, it is, yeah, it is. It is. And
Lovely.
some of them that wouldn't ever go anywhere near any seat of learning, as you might say,
Well, actually go along.
we sort of drag them in. They're never quite the same.
Brilliant. It's quite unique, I think, anyway. It's like
Oh, it is, yeah, it is
the
quite
cities,
unique.
you don't
This is
get
why
the
wherever
same.
we go, he follows us. Our every word is taken down. You know,
And that's what's going to make you famous.
if I was coming down from the mountain with the tablets and Moses, and I was
Then
Moses,
the film camera would go
yeah,
and
he'd be there. He'd be walking behind Moses. He thinks I'm Moses. I'm not. You see?
Just put you in the picture. Behind us is Dundry Hill, which rises to 700 or 800 feet and is open countryside, though very, very vulnerable because it's too close to the city and it gets dumped with burnt out cars and you name it. The council owns this side of it, the rest of it is private. And some years ago the council developed this footpath, you can see part of it there, there's a little wooden bridge over that gully, that runs 2 miles from the furthest end of Harcliffe to the furthest end of Withywood. Parts of it are well maintained, other parts totally blocked by briars and undergrowth 15, 20 feet high. And the group who came last week, they made a huge effort to break through those barriers, but there's a lot more to be done. Now, that direction is not so bad. We'll go in this direction towards Withywood, and there'll be bits which are quite obviously not yet been properly cleared. So you decide what little bit you're going to work on, and the rest of us will go on. Now, I should be walking up and down because it's quite easy to get lost because there are little other paths that lead up the hill or down into the suburbs. But if you keep the backyards and the chimney pots on your right at about 50 to 100 yards, you won't get lost. But as we're numerous, you know, we've got 18, 20 people here, and we've got dangerous weapons, we don't want to accidentally decapitate each other. We really need to spread out so that we can actually do the job. Okay, any questions? Okay, let's go for it. Go for it.
Clearing in clumps. What are you, evangelical?
Yeah, it's
Fellowship, is it?
well, no, it's it was like a farm out of
Out of another.
Find out-
Have you ever St Andrews to do it? Yes, yeah.
Well, that's St Andrews is the one that started up.
All
new
started you. I see. Started you.
Youth congregation, can't you?
Yeah.
You were working there?
Would anyone like to get people to cut through the really tough brambles? And sometimes these shears don't do it, but I've had one pair of secateurs, my own, very precious, which are quite useful for these big things.
Well, these are doing quite a
That's
good
all
job,
right.
yeah.
That's working. Is it? The trouble is they're so heavy. They're working.
That's doing the job.
Very much right.
Hey, Annie. Yeah. Next year you should start an aggression therapy seminar and actually bring people out here. Big things just to hack the bushes.
And anger management.
You say I have anger issues?
No, but
Come over here and say
it's quite good therapy, those things. Hacking bushes.
I must look as I'm not on the camera.
done, Don. We'll come to you for the entertainment in a moment. Well done, I just get through. Yeah, this is beginning to look really good.
You're a gardener, Don?
Aye?
Are you a gardener?
A bit of one, yeah. Especially with weeds, I am. I specialise in weeds, to be honest. I've got 1/4 acre, see at the back. Behind Anton. Yeah, really, I've got a bigger garden than Anton. Yeah. But we don't do many shows around there. We save it all for Anton. Ow. Oh. That was yesterday, actually. I'm cheating. That was it. That was out the front yesterday. Yeah, so I got enough to do. Like, I'm only good at cutting grass, and I've got some tomatoes in, and I used to do curly kale, and got a few potatoes, lettuce, cucumbers, and also what they call, oh yeah, beetroots. Supposed to be very good for you, beetroot. Yes. I was under the apprenticeship of Percy Thrower at one time, and didn't get too far with him really, as he kept messing about all the time. And me being a serious person, couldn't stand, you know, his messing about with the shovel and also the rake. And Capability Brown was another of my teachers, because I'm a lot older than I look. Well, I'm keeping well, and I've done most of the great gardens of England and Wales also, and hoping to go further afield as far as Bedminster in the future. Mainly in terraced houses where they haven't got no gardens, you see. But, oh, what a load of rubbish. But I've read about, it's because I read all these trades, I'm reading about all Frankie Howard this morning. And when he came across all Eric Sykes as his scriptwriter for 10 years, and they had the same funny sense of humour. You know, like he said, when an elephant ran away, and it went into the picture house, and it sat in the second row, and it blocked the view for the other 500 sat behind it. And absolutely silly things. But that's the sort of sense of humour he had, and they had the same sort of sense of humour. Ridiculous.
Do you mind me just asking you a couple of questions?
No, not at all.
Could you just very quickly sort of explain what's going on?
We're chopping up bramble so that there's a path cleared for people to walk past and walk through.
And what about the organisation of the day? Just give us a bit of background.
Well, basically we're here from New Wine, and there's a need in Withywood just to have things cleared up, and it's just quite deprived, so we're here to help, basically, and hopefully get something done that's something they can extend and carry on for themselves, basically.
That's a brilliant idea. Is it like an annual thing that you do?
As far as I know, it's been done before, yeah, so I think this is a return, but yeah, a bit new to this sort of whole thing.
So everyone who's involved is taking holiday from work?
Yeah, I presume so, yeah.
New Wine is a Christian conference happening in Shepton Mallet at the Bath and West Showground, and we spend time there kind of just learning more about stuff really, but this is a day off from those people, so a lot of the site would just have gone into Bath or Bristol or something, but a lot of us kind of in the 20s and 30s venue have come here today to clear up a few bits like Bonnie was saying. So that's the kind of general gist behind it.
I was driving down down past Shepton Mallet a couple of days ago. I saw a big sign up outside saying New Wine.
Yeah.
I kind of presumed it was a wine tasting festival or something. And then after that there was another sign saying Christian Family Conference.
Yes, that's right.
I was trying to sort of square the two in my head, like wine, Christian. Why is it called New Wine?
I don't presume to know about the history. It might have something to do with...
I think it's because it comes out of Vineyard, a church called Vineyard.
Yeah.
and the idea of being refreshed and having just having new joy and new life, just like having a glass of wine with your friends and community and stuff like that. So, yeah,
That's
good
really
old
nice,
shindig,
Right,
quite frankly.
Thanks.
I'm not though. It's all lies. I'm just me. I'm no one famous or even related.
We're going to make you famous
By association.
time you have tea.
Could you just explain to us what you're doing here?
We've come from the New Wine Festival, which is a Christian festival, and we basically just wanted to come and serve the community and do works in the community, basically because we really love God and we want to show the people here that He cares about them and stuff. So we're just going to give up some of our time and hopefully do some good around this area that seems to have been somewhat neglected. That's why we're here.
That's brilliant, thanks. Able to get sunstroke into the garden.
Yeah, we're also here to work on our tans and to make sure that we go home and everyone at work knows that we have been on holiday and we're working hard.
What do you do then? What is your work?
I'm actually an occupational therapist.
Oh, are you?
So
Oh, you could be here all day then.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I just applied.
And where is that in your local?
I actually work in Essex.
Oh, in Essex?
Yeah, but I live in Watford, but work
Oh,
in
I
Essex,
see.
so
You
travel
work- Oh, you've got, how far is that then to go?
40 miles each way. So I spend quite a lot of time in my
Oh,
car.
you do then. It's
But-
going to be a lot of traffic, isn't it?
Actually, it's M25, it's not that bad.
And it's not, what, M25?
Yeah, it's go in the right direction, which is good.
Mine Anton, he might make you a lot shorter.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good to lose my legs.
Yeah, it's possible.
Found an open fire in my bungalow, and I always lay on about an hour's formal discussion, slideshow, visiting speaker, whatever. And the students who come are very good at asking questions, so I let it go any way it wants. And after the coffee tea break, then it's general chat, and people go away saying, "Gosh, that was lovely," you know. And it's very small scale. People don't feel intimidated. They feel they can contribute. People say to me, "Oh, why don't you go big? You know, take over this, and this." I said, "No, that's not the way forward. The way forward is you. You're going to do the same in your home." And it just collects 6, 8, 10 people together. Take it in turns to entertain the others. Have an open fire because that's therapeutic. You can't sit round a nice story teacher with any sense of therapy. Hey, he's marvellous. He's one of our students, so is he.
When you say take it in turns to entertain the others, what are the others doing?
What do the others do?
Yeah, when do they do it?
How do you mean?
No,
They?
it's they a turn next time.
Well, you've had several turns.
Well, no, I'm always doing
Marvellous.
it.
He's our publicity agent. He drags people in from all over. I mean, for 15 years I did this, I couldn't interest the local people. I could only count on the well-heeled.
The well-heeled.
Bishopsworth.
Then he found
Or the flesh pots of Chew Valley or Clifton. And it's taken that length of time to get through to the local people here. It's for them. And now it's all them. Mind you, those sort of people feel a bit put out of joint because they come for the highbrow. Well, they can get it anywhere. But this is an area where there isn't much of that kind of uplift or even social interaction. And we do a lot in the summer walking, and I have a part share in a cottage in North Wales, and I take relays up there so that they can really intermesh in the Snowdonia National Park.
Really?
So
That's really good.
I should have brought some publicity so that I could show you. We're on the internet. If you look up University of Withywood, you've got a bit there, and our
We'll run
local
over and get
latest
some
program.
photos. See what we can.
Go to Glynn and get some publicity. You know, what is the University of Withywood, the latest newsletter.
I'll bring
He'll
some
be
of the
there.
photos.
You're going to get Megan, aren't you?
Yeah, I'll get Megan.
Megan is one of
Megan
the
is
students.
one of the students.
She's a very
She's a
lovely-
border collie. She knows more than the rest of us, and she's better looking.
Oh.
She
Right,
is.
you asked about me. You are? Chris. Jamie.
Those are some of the dogs that are best
Vonnie.
looking in the
Vonnie. Chris. Jamie, Vonnie, I know these two. Right, shall we move on to the next bit now, slowly? You'll find it more shady too. We're standing here in the sweltering sun. So gather up your bits, and if you see
Anton, by
a
the way,
tool
has
that's
just
obviously
been-
been
I'm told that
discarded,
he's just
thrown
been,
down,
made
God,
an
there's a
MBE
load
by
of
the
detritus over there.
yeah, with old Beckham. He's in the honours list with Beckham.
Oh,
really.
it's these local people who went through the
he's
whole
not telling
process
you
of
that,
nominating me without telling me. Took 4 years.
Yeah, he's on,
Then
he's
suddenly
on the
my
list
name
with
came to the top
Beckham.
of the list,
He's
and there was
looking
this
for a
great
Victoria
warrant
to
from
take with
HM
him.
signed to Elizabeth. Our beloved Lady Delius Anton Benton, Esquire. Will you report to the palace for a little bit of gong? So here am I. I've got to find I've got to go around the charity
Nobody
shops
in
to find the
Withywood
right
has ever
gong.
had a gong before.
When is it?
Gong with a
Well, it hasn't
wooden,
been
but
told
they've
yet.
never had
You
a
know,
gong.
it takes a little time for the Privy Council or whatever they call
to sort him
themselves
out.
to sort it all out.
Yeah.
But they've sent me this great big thing,
Sorry.
beautiful, signed by Philip, who's the Grand
What are you
Master.
going to wear?
Good question.
We hope it's a bit different than the add-on last week.
Good question.
In our play, it was the Queen in the play.
Yeah, don't tell Her Majesty, but I was playing a pantomime Dame last week.
suggest
It was
you
the
don't
Queen
wear that.
in The Princess and the Woodcutter. And the Queen has to disguise herself as a
Yeah,
beggar
don't tell them
woman.
anymore, they'll leave.
And it's a very nice little fairy tale for children.
Ah,
But
AJ
we
Milne.
decided to put a bit of pantomime slapstick in it.
okay.
And the king who disguises the queen, we thought, here's an opportunity for a little bit of slapstick. So the king goes into the whole process of undressing the queen, who's got about 16 layers of nether garments, each one more grotesque than the last. So there's me lying on the floor having these things dragged off me, and then disguised as a beggar woman. And of course we have the stripper music for that.
Was this show rated?
This gentleman filmed it
This is meant
too.
to be
Don't tell the Queen.
children.
No, it was for the old ladies of Withywood actually.
Did they enjoy it?
Oh gosh,
Okay.
yes. Well, I might even.
You might even find a
if
market
it gets
for that
too hot,
video
I
as
might
well.
repeat the process of removing,
different name.
not nether garments,
Yeah.
but
I might know.
gather up your things and we'll move on. It's half a mile further on, but it's all nice and shady, and then we'll make another depot, another base.
Yeah. So how did you meet her if you...
Started going out with that, even remember what we were like. It was like after the wedding when they photos, yeah. And we're like,
Right, it's 1:05. If you haven't eaten, this would be a nice spot because the next bit is where we start working again. So we could make this our base. I've got a bag of rolls here. If you haven't got enough food or brought any, help yourself. Yes. Thank you. Bit squashed, I'm afraid. I don't know what's in them.
what kind of rolls?
I helped make them this morning. I did wash my hands. The ones with the cheese and the 2 slices of cucumber in them, I did. There's tuna as well. There's corned beef. Yeah.
Is that tuna?
You don't like tuna? Well, the ferries when I go from Portsmouth. I don't know, there was some dispute. So always I used to go across to Le Havre from Southampton. Now you can't. So it's Portsmouth.
There's a lot of, obviously, freight and industry goes out
Yeah.
from the docks.
Mm.
Very busy dock. But, and
No, I've been a teacher all my life, and I associate Southampton with end of the bell, end of the term, and the bell goes, and I rush to the station and get a train to Southampton, and I walk in a complete daze through medieval Southampton. It's got some nice bits of city wall and city gate,
yes,
and then in the evening get the overnight ferry to Le Havre. I used to do that regularly every year or 2 or 3 times a year. No, it's lost that. You have to go to Portsmouth. And in any case, Eurostar makes it so much easier. You don't have to travel through the night. You can get to your destination in the same day.
they're fixing, no, the shipyard business is being moved to Portsmouth, a good section of that as well. Portsmouth? Yeah. Yeah, Vickers, I think.
So what do you do in Stoke-on-Trent? I mean in Southampton?
I sell waste management.
You what?
Sell waste management, so...
Sell
Industry.
waste management?
Yes, industry generates a lot of chemical waste, etc. And I tell them how to...
Recycling and all of that. It's
recycle,
big
dispose.
business nowadays, is it?
It is, yeah, but it's very competitive, so... You know, it's...
Who employs you? Are you freelance?
No, I work for a company.
What's it called?
Shanks.
Shanks.
Yeah. We haven't got much down this
No, I haven't heard of
area.
it. Oh, somebody's not using that. That's a shame.
What I'm just about to carry
Oh,
over.
you're going to use that, Luke. Well done. Well, I don't want to drop big hints. We ought to be using that.
Get to it, man.
No.
You might have you hard pushed.
I've been trying to find an alternative, but it's really difficult.
Well, that's nice. What were we saying about tambourines?
Who, me?
Can't do you say anything about tambourines?
It was they're lively instruments, and Andy here is actually quite good on tambourine.
I am skilled, I am, yeah. That's what I majored in actually when I was at university, tambourine and shearing. And it's funny that this week it's just been, it's as if God's bringing those gifts together.
You could almost say that you've been blessed.
I am indeed fortunate.
Yeah, and happy are you?
Happy, I don't know, yeah.
In fact, do you have your tambourine with you, sir? To show, reveal Jesus, the people of Bristol, and tambourining and shearing.
I think I find I might have to do some street evangelism with the tambourine and just be loud. I think I might just sort of scare people into repenting. Ooh. Talk to the hand.
Are you garden enthusiasts?
No, I don't have a garden. I live in London.
I've just got a new house, I'm not doing it.
How many houses have you done?
This is
The whole street?
This is my first.
Right, and what do you do? Just go knock on the door?
Yeah.
Hello, do you want the garden door?
And they say, well, if you really want to.
There are lots of people with very stung ankles up in the
From the nest.
up in the hills. Yeah,
What are they doing up there?
just clearing brambles and stingers from the footpath.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Thank you so much.
That's okay, knows what it's like. Go careful because you take those too near to you. Alright, sorry I haven't got any ice.
Oh, no, that's brilliant. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you ever so much. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Alright, where's the rest of them? If you go and put them in the bin, alright? Who are you working for?
We're Christians, so we're working at church.
Ah, what the
What's it
St
called?
Andrews?
Yeah, that's right. Drinks.
We're all staying at a Christian conference called New Wine, which is at the Bristol West Showground.
Yeah, Bristol West Showground, yeah.
That's right, yeah. So, and we're part of that, so we're coming up to
Got nice weather for it, is it?
Yeah. We came last week, this time last week, and it's pouring with rain apparently.
Just dump them over on the step when you're finished, okay?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. Speak, so we're speaking in tongues.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I grew up and grew up in church, and my mum died when I was 9, so I went to church and found it interesting, but never really found much in it. Just found people, I suppose, following God and trying to reach God. And I went to church with my neighbours after my mum died and stuff. But when I really found that God was real in some ways was when I moved to school in Sheffield. I was about 14, and I went along to the Christian Union group, and these guys were talking about gifts from God, and they talked about speaking in tongues. So I asked them what it was, intrigued and stuff, and they explained it's like a gift from God where you receive like a holy language, and it's like the language of angels, and it helps you to pray and to tune into God. And so I asked this guy if he could speak in tongues, and he said yeah. So I got him to speak in tongues, and I was really amazed and touched that actually there was something that was real about God that was beyond just people trying to reach God, but actually God had given this person something. And basically I went to the Christian Union ever since, and when I got to university later on in my life, when I was about 18, I received the gift of tongues myself, and I use it all the time really to help me pray and to talk to God.
So is it a language of its?
Yeah. And and I can speak it whenever I like, and it's like God gives you a phrase to begin with, and you learn to speak through the phrase, and as you speak it, God gives you more kind of phrases and sentences, and yeah, it's just brilliant to tune into God basically, it's the Spirit.
Amazing, right? Thanks. So in terms of like like grammar or the way you construct sentences or whatever.
Right. Well, I can speak in tongues if you like me to, and you can understand a bit. Chiara shilana matar, shana kiambara, shana mahalana, ukhan chambatara, shina mara lama chandakana. And I don't understand what I'm saying necessarily, but sometimes there's a prophetic tongue given in church, and God gives an interpretation directly to that. But most of the time it's just about me tuning into God's Spirit and trusting that He is working through me and speaking to me. And I'm praying like godly prayers, I suppose. So.